Good evening on this lovely, rainy where I am, Friday night. Phoenician Sailor here with some ASMR triggers for you to relax and fall asleep to. Yes, I know that's what's needed at this time. How are you all doing? What's been going on in your world? What's been on your mind lately? I happen to think that ASMR, I've just been informed that my microphones are backwards. There's two ways I could fix that. I can switch the panning on the mics, or I can switch the mirroring on the video. That's right. And now it's wrong. That's right. It's wrong. I think the longer term solution is to fix the mics. So if you'll forgive me for a moment as I reach up here, give you a nice opportunity to see my favorite shirt that I'm wearing. And now everything should be hunky-dory. And yes, I've just been watching some of what Ted Cruz has been saying and doing lately. And man, he stands for everything that is patriotic and wonderful about this country. He adheres to a set of beliefs and he doesn't give a hoot about the facts. But of course, these are ASMR triggers we're talking about tonight, not things that might trigger us politically or triggers on things that might be used to end lives. No, we're talking about these kind of triggers. The best kind of triggers. You know it. I know it. We all need some stubby unicorn that makes some vaguely these are almost disgusting noises, really. Oh, Damien. 200 milligrams of edibles. It's like an entire bar. You're just supposed to have a little piece. What the heck is wrong with you? IQ. Missed you the other day. Really didn't realize how much I've come to depend on what you do. But, yeah. I mean, look at those eyes. Is it possible for this jacket to have a collar that stands up? I think this is a pretty good representation of what's beneath the skin of your favorite and my favorite politician, Ted Cruz. You know, triggers are one thing. Doorknobs are another thing, and it's true. If only we were able to have fewer doorknobs, fewer points of egress. If only we could sort of trap people in boxes that perhaps a large number of them might have trouble getting out if there were, say, a fire or something like that. I mean, I don't know. I'm no politician. You can't expect me to sort of conjure up policy out of thin air on the spot, live on YouTube. No. I'm just saying, like, at first glance, maybe on further inspection, this won't be true, but at first glance, what Ted Cruz says about changing schools it sounds like the ravings of a complete idiot. But on further inspection, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we don't need elementary schools. We need military schools. And we could follow the example set by Sacha Baron Cohen and create a legion of kindergartens. Stop buying toys. Start buying training materials. Bulletproof, shrapnel-proof blankets. Wow, it's raining quite hard now. It's almost as if the good Lord, our God, was trying to send me a signal that being insouciant and glib in a case like this is inadvisable. Unfortunately for God, I am an atheist. I have such an inflated sense of my own ego that I actually think God is kind of upset by that. Look at this one. This one appears to be filled with gold flecks. We need a close-up on this, don't we? Definitely do. You're never sure which bubbles are going to be the one to break out of their netted cage. Of course, we're all familiar with that riddle. What's the one thing that the more holes you cut in it, the fewer holes it has? The answer is, of course, a net. And no, not a net O'Toole. A net. Two separate words. Yes, these all sound vaguely like the kind of bodily functions that one would prefer occur in private. And yet I'm told that the kiddos find those sounds soothing in some way, and who am I to judge, except for pretty judgmental, arrogant, crotchety, curmudgeonly, impatient, averse to new ideas, stuck in a routine. What am I besides one of those? Use whatever one of those adjectives you like. I would gladly own up to them all. So while we're doing some triggers here, there's another trigger. Here's another trigger. Just leave that there while I do some other triggers. Data science is part science, part art. And sometimes all you have to do, like in the case with the Hills, who back in the 80s claimed they were abducted by aliens and shown a star map. And when they described that star map to their fellow Earthlings once they had been returned, we were able to look up into the sky and look up at all the stars in the galaxy and outside of the galaxy and determine that from one point in space, if you assumed a particular point in space, you could arrange some stars that would fit pretty well with that star map. And this is, of course, making a priori assumptions. And so things like that need to be watched out for when you create things like data science artifacts like the one that might be on the screen right now, and that some of you might find triggering, although hopefully not as triggering. Well, this might not be the greatest sound when you're not looking. It encourages you to look. Let's switch it up for me. I haven't used this one. This one's a little better. Yes. That one's a little more satisfying. Back to the point. When you construct these visual artifacts from data, it's entirely possible that you can taint one's perception of the data by doing things like focusing in on a particular part of a graph or drawing a line that seems to indicate a trend. So I would encourage you to be skeptical when you look at this scatter plot graph, if you indeed so choose to do so, and imagine the line is not there, because I think with the line, which was somebody chose to draw that line, a data scientist chose to draw that line, a human, a fallible human, a prejudicial human chose to put that line there in order to make this scatterplot graph look a particular way. And I think you'll find once you, in your mind, I did not go through the trouble of doing this. But if in your mind you remove the diagonal line sloping from left to right, you might well, no, not in this case. In this case, the clumping of data points in the vast gulf between Switzerland and the United States, I think, speaks for itself. Perhaps this is a bad example of prejudicial visual artifacts tainting data. Maybe this is actually good data. Huh. Ted, what do you think? No. Ted is quite adamant that we need to have a single point of entry and egress. It needs to be locked, and possibly need to have, a good kid with a gun stops a bad kid with a gun. I think this particular artifact has served its purpose. Let's remove it. So here's another trigger. It's just a yellow spiky ball with plastic pebbles inside. When you get those sensory packets of different kinds of balls, they're usually all squishy. And I have to tell you, I think the grainy ones get short shrift. And I prefer the grainy ones. So when you get one of those from, Amazon, let's say, you're going to end up with a lot of squishy balls instead of, as you might want, some grainy ones instead. So, if you get a grainy one in one of those packages, hold on to it for dear life. Lord God, hold on to any dry, grainy, squishy balls that you get from Amazon. Because the cri de coeur of Amazon seems to be everybody loves slime. I don't. This is in fact the Zodiac Killer t-shirt. Or a Zodiac Killer t-shirt. I've had it for some time. I stole it from a previous partner. And they will never see it again. Over my dead body. But look, I don't really believe that Ted Cruz was the Zodiac Killer. Like I said, I think he's a patriot. He's a man of the people. He's sticking by his beliefs, as he should. What a good guy. It's really not fair when people bombard him with questions about policy. Why it's really, really unfair to expect him as a politician to be prepared to propose policy solutions when we have tragedies like this. That's not his job. Okay? His job is not, you may think that his job is to make policy. That's on you. If you believe that, that's on you. Get a little more perspective. His job is not to be exposed to a problem, to analyze it, maybe, with a panel of experts. Make sure that there's a wide base of opinions being represented, and come to a conclusion of what a possible solution might be, and then work towards enacting that solution. And for you to think that that is his job, it's not fair to him. It's not fair to him. So when people in the mainstream media go up to Ted Cruz and they say stuff like, well, what sort of policy do you propose? And he doesn't have an answer. Or if his answer is batshit crazy, well, what's the problem? What's the problem? Right? Not his job. It's not his job. Whose job is it? I don't think it's fair for you to ask me that question. I don't know whose job it is. Apparently it is not the job of politicians, though, to deal with matters of policy. Let's see what else we got down here. Oh. Appropriate. It's been a while since I've brought out Squawky, our patriotic eagle. Look at him, he's beautiful. He's got the stars on one wing, about 13 stars, I think, coincidentally, and the stripes on the other. And if you don't see the stars and you only see the stripes, maybe if you angle it a bit, it kind of has a barber pole, which was originally a sign of blood. It was meant to indicate so as a medicine man, Western medicine man, back in the days when barbers were also doctors. So this guy's also filled with, I don't want to open it. I don't want to open him and see what it is. I'm sure they're microplastics molded together into macroplastics, which, when you rub them against each other, some small amount of microplastic is then aerosolized, and I'm inhaling it right now. So I'm hoping that you appreciate the hit to my longevity that I'm taking by squeezing, what did I call him? Squawky? By squeezing Squawky? For your oral pleasure. Oh boy. He likes it though. He's never told me that he likes it, but he's also never told me that he doesn't. So I get to make the call there because I'm a white male. So the title of the video, there's triggers in the title of the video. So I don't know what you thought you were clicking on. But frankly, if you leave this video not triggered, I will have failed. Let's move on. What's that, Squawky? Oh. Mass shootings in the United States. That's something else. Wow. Looks like it's gotten more and more, but there does appear to be a spike of some kind. Somewhere between 2000 and 2005. Looks like they really took off. Now, if an unethical data scientist were to have access to this, they might do something like draw a line there, point and arrow there. Look at Squawky looking down at this. This isn't really a scatter point graph. It's more of a, I'm not really sure what you'd call it. It's almost like a word cloud. But for fatalities, a word cloud, just like you would have for your Spotify account, seeing if the weekends, how much do you listen to the weekend? How big is the weekend's bubble? But in this case, the size of the bubble indicates how many people were killed. Isn't that right, Squawky? I will take no response as the response that I prefer, as I always do. So, Squawky, what do you think? What do you think might have happened in that little gap there between 2000 and 2005? It almost looks like we had a bit of a spike and then things were kind of staying the same. Well, that might be, an aberration, but something happened around 2004. But I don't know what it could be. Oh, no, I don't think that's right, Squawky. How dare you? You don't like it when I squeeze you. There was an assault rifle ban that was lifted. That doesn't sound right to me, Squawky. It can't be that simple. You understand? It can't just be that simple. The solution can't be that simple, Squawky. It's going to take a lot of time, and we're going to have to do a lot of thinking and soul searching, and you're going to have to get squozed a lot to assuage my anxiety. In fact, I don't like having this up anymore. You're spiking my blood pressure, and I don't appreciate it. Okay? For you to just kind of look at something and be like, oh, the solution's so simple. All we gotta do is, do what we can to get as many guns off the streets and out of people's hands as we possibly can. Especially assault-style guns or rifles. Fuck you, Squawky. Okay? I think what we need to do is start with I think we need to go into recess that's the first step. First step, politicians go into recess, okay? Because we need a break. We've been sitting in those chairs for a while. Our butts are getting bigger. Ted Cruz's butt is definitely getting bigger. And we need some time to be able to enjoy the fruits of our labors. We need to go to foreign countries and exploit them in whatever ways that we can. And just sort of, reset. After we reset, we'll reconvene, and, by then, the Supreme Court ruling on Roe v. Wade will be out, and there will be quite an outcry over that. Maybe that will take up some of the time, some of the outrage, air in the room, deflate this stress bubble that's going on right now. A lot of people talking about a lot of things. Simple majorities, pluralities, filibusters, inability to get things done. Honestly, it's confusing and it's labyrinthine and it feels like it's just a bit too much for me right now. Is it a bit too much for you, Squawky? Oh. Well, I don't think we should give up. I don't think that's the solution, Squawky. Oh dear. It seems that Squawky has fallen into a bit of despair. What do you think we can do to make Squawky feel better about the state of the world? Squawky. We can't have negative Nellies in here, okay? Especially you. Look at you. Look at you. Did we get a really good look at you? Look at you. You're beautiful. True, you're not actually a very big eagle. You're no longer endangered, is that right? There's nothing particularly noble about you as a species or a symbol. But what can we do to make you feel better? Not a squishy ball, right? That's not going to cut it, is it? You need more than a squishy ball this time. A different color? Squishy ball? No. How about a stress ball? Like these, you can really give these a good squeeze. And they're meant to withstand a good squeeze, unlike, for instance, this ridiculous, unworthy of being called a stress. Look, if a ball is a stress ball, and if it's being marketed as a stress ball, it should expect that people are going to apply a fair amount of pressure to it. And it should not cave at the first sign of that pressure. It should not just break apart constantly. This fella here has a neat trick it does. It births smaller stress balls. Go ahead. Go ahead. It's okay. You can do it. You can do it, buddy. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. It's crowning. It's crowning. It was. Oh, there we go. Oh. Twins. We got twins. We got twins. We lost one, but it's okay. That's why we got two. It's okay to lose one because we have another. And it's a boy. It's a boy. It's a bouncing baby, slimy boy. So how about that, Squawky? How about we have kids? Maybe we'll end up homeschooling this one. You can homeschool him. How about that? You don't eat him, Squawky. That's not right at all. But yeah, maybe you can distract yourself by having some children of your own, and at least for a few years before they enter the ringer, you'll be so occupied, you'll be so busy that you're not going to have time to think about, kinds of things that Ted Cruz does, or really more aptly, does not think about. You'll just do what you want to do, say what you want to say, live how you want to live, play how you want to play. I forget the rest of the lyrics to that song. I just know it ends in the Addams Family. What else do we have here? This is a device that is used to aid in women's reproductive health. It's called a speculum. Don't worry, it hasn't been used in a long time. So, Squawky, what if we invested in women's reproductive and mental health? And what if we didn't try to, say, force people to have children that don't want to have children or would be in danger from having children or would greatly resent the child? Maybe we need to start there at the speculum level. Because maybe the answer isn't that simple. Maybe there is some more complex aspects that we need to take advantage of. How about this? Let's just do something. Right? Let's try something. People say that if we remove guns from the hands of law-abiding citizens, we're essentially going to be living back in the Wild West. And if that's true, which I don't think it is, I don't think any reasonable person can see. Here's a quick diagram. I'll draw here. Maybe it'll help us out. Okay. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Uvalde police were afraid to storm the classroom, right? Okay. I mean, it is a small town. Oh, wait, no, they had Border Patrol agents there? Okay, well, let's say each of these circles that I'm drawing here, and I'll show you this in a moment. Please be patient. Okay. Each of these circles that I've drawn here, let's say each one of them is a person in a room. Okay? Now, let's say one of them has something with a trigger on it. You might end up with a situation that's something like this. And that's horrible. But let's say they all had guns. I'm sorry, things with triggers on them. We might be able to get something that looks a little more like this. Maybe we could get something more like that. And I don't know about you, but I'd feel much safer living in the last scene of Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs, than in the world we live in today. I don't know about you. And let's not forget all the little... Oh, we're getting a red one. We're getting a red one. Oh no. Just some slime popped out of there. Oh, we did get a red one. Come here, red one. We got a red one. The red ones are extremely precious. Because you can use, this is blood, and you can use the blood from the red ones and smear it on yourself. And then anyone else undergoing, let's say, a trigger malfunction might look at you and think you were already taken care of. And they would move on to someone else. So the red ones are very important. Let me make a note of that. Extremely important. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that. I like that a lot. Enter. What else can I possibly put into this video that isn't overly sarcastic? Or am I way past that point already? I think probably way past that point already. I'm so sorry. It's just the way I am. It's the way I was built. It's the way I think most of us were built. And I'm sure we can all find a happy resolution to this that stops somewhere short of utter and complete revolution, but needs must. So, I appreciate you all hanging out, listening to me point out the pros and cons of... Basically, maybe I should retitle this video, Everyone Needs to Be Kinder to Ted Cruz. I think that's really the point, that Squawky thinks he knows everything. But Squawky really can only talk from a solipsistic point of view. Squawky can only talk if I choose to hold him up to my ear. If I don't choose to hold him up to my ear, dude's got nothing to say. So, what do you think about that, Squawky? The rain has stopped. The Lord our God is no longer angry at me, at least for now. And praise be. And I hope that you're all, every one of you, are really, really praying really hard and thinking really hard, because we need thinkings. We need the thinkings and the prayers. It's not just prayers, thoughts and prayers. So we're thinking about it. Just thinking about it. You don't have to think about a solution. Nobody's expecting that of you, and we're definitely not expecting that of Ted. Just think about it. Again, no pressure for a solution. Just think about the stuff. Pray about the stuff. Send the thinkings and the prayings. You can tweet it, MySpace it, do something with it. Do a talk tick on it. There's a lot of ways you can get that thinking and praying out to its intended target. Oh gosh, that's not a good metaphor. Shame on you. I have to self-flagellate in some way now, because I used a triggering metaphor. How dare I? But get those out, and I'm sure that's going to take care of everything. I'm sure that's going to make it all better. And the world's going to come around, and everything's just going to magically be better. I think we're investing really heavily right now. We can all take solace in the fact that we're investing really heavily right now in people making short form videos, because we're going to need those people. Those people making short form videos right now, dropping out of school, making short form videos. 20 years from now, they're going to be the elders. They're going to be the ones carrying the torches. So I'd like to encourage more people. If you're thinking of staying in school, have you considered possibly making short form videos instead? Dropping out of school and making short form videos. I think if you really want to serve society as a whole, and that's really like what we need is some kind of scoring system, right, by which we can determine how much one helps or hurts society. And I think we'd find if we did that making short form videos really high on that list. So if you're not doing it already, get to it. If you are doing it already, you've got my gratitude. Continue, improve your craft, make your videos even shorter. See how short you can get them, right? Same thing with musicians. Make sure that the music you create, it's got to be able to be attached to the short form. So don't do anything that requires development or anything. Like, make sure your catchiest, hookiest part is less than 10 seconds long, and put it right there at the beginning and repeat it like, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 times. I don't know, you can just kind of go on and on and on about it. Just keep going with it. And I think we'll have, 20 years from now, we're going to reach that utopia. It's going to happen. I have complete faith in all of you, and I hope you all have a wonderful Friday evening. I'll see you soon.